This show is brought to you by Millennium Tree Stands.
Welcome to Rally Hunt Club. This episode, we're up here watching our fence, our electric fence, not working very good. So we're up here whispering, it's almost dark, watching the deer come in. So stay tuned for this episode. So we're back. We're going to film this episode whispering. Now, I'm up here with my son, and I got some videos of our fence. Apparently, it's not a very good design. Don't quite know what's wrong.
They can jump over it.
They can jump over it.
And it barely shocks you.
It barely shocks. So my 12-year-old's diagnosing a problem with the fence. We ain't quite decided yet. I haven't watched all the videos and photos yet. But apparently, it ain't working on these Georgia deer. I don't care what the experts are saying, but it's just not working on the Georgia deer. So, stay tuned. I'm going to be back in the office. We'll look through some of these videos. I'm going to give you some comments. But I just thought I'd bring this to you. We're out here sweating and laughing, and it's pretty pitiful. So, let's switch to the office, and let me tell you what's going on with the fence and what's really not going on with the fence. So, stay tuned.
As you can see in that video, Tad and I were having a real good time up in that tower stand. It was a little hot, and you know, we were making fun of how our fence failed, but you know, in the big picture, it's not real funny the amount of hours we spent trying to keep those deer out of those 3 acres of iron clay peas. So let's look at some of those videos. Maybe I won't cry, I won't scream. But anyway, this video, you just see the deer just jumped over the fence. Not a big deal. I'm gonna go over that in a minute as to the concept of the design. Here's another one. The offset design is supposed to cause psychological problems where the deer don't think they can jump over it. And matter of fact, we're not even supposed to have that 3rd string up. It's just supposed to be those 2 strings. As you can see, it's not bothering the deer. The deer is just jumping in there, going up and down the rows, eating the peas, showing, you know, eating the iron clay peas in that video right there. So, see what the next video is. Once again, it just doesn't matter what's going on to the deer. They are gonna get in there. So, as you can see in this video evidence of what's exactly going on. You know, we put this fence up twice the last 2 years. The first one we put up in a 5-string configuration, which is more consistent with how they do it with cattle. And sure enough, it really didn't bother the deer. They were jumping through it. Now, some people say we didn't have enough charge. Well, we've got the standard charge, the intermittent charger that pulsates the charge out, and it's hooked to a car battery. Now, it might not be as powerful charge as what you would get if you stick it straight into 110, but it's still supposed to be enough according to the literature. Now, I'm not going to mention any names, but there's a guy that did some research. He said this is supposed to work. It was more psychological. Matter of fact, I printed out his paper and read what it said, and that's exactly how we did it by. And then there's another guy that I like watching his videos. He swears by the offset design. And there's a couple of fence manufacturers, I'm not going to name them any names or not neither, that say this design would work. Now, it might work. It just won't work on my Georgia deer. And it could be a couple of reasons why. One is they beat it last year and they don't fear it. Another one is, you know, they don't care. They want what's inside that fence. Tad and I did watch. One deer came out and he walked up to the fence and he actually took his nose and touched the wire and he bolted off. He ran off. So the fence, he knows the shock's going to be there. It was a little bitty buck. The other ones, you can tell when they walk up to the fence, they know they're going to get shot or whatever because they run and get a good jump, or they make sure they don't hit it. So they know the consequences of the fence being there. It's just they don't really care. They want what's inside that fence. I was talking to Chuck and we debated this back and forth. I said we could put the fence up and not plant anything inside the fence, and we'd get video and trail camera photos of them trying to get in the fence. Just because they know they're conditioned that the fence is up, they want what's inside that fence. So anyway, last year's design was a 5-row cattle fence like we were talking about earlier. Here's a short video of them getting through that. Now this year's design is the offset design, which I went over in length in the other one. And you know, you just saw a video of that. We put that fence up the same night those deer were in that food plot, and the fence was the 100% exactly right that moment, and they had already jumped over and got inside that food plot. The battery was charged on the charger, the current was flowing through the wire, all the wire was not grounded, it was up, and they still beat us that very first night. So this is Reality Hunt Club. We share the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is the bad because they ate all the iron clay peas, 3 acres worth, so now there's nothing there. And the ugly is just thinking about all the hours it took us to put that fence up, being the second year and all that. But you know, it's a learning. As for what we're going to do next year, Chuck wants to try it again. I'm kind of frustrated. I'm kind of like, I've had enough. Let's quit planting those legumes. We know the legume is iron clay peas, soybeans, something that grows that seed that where they could eat it down. I'm thinking I want to plant something else, maybe a brassica or something else late season, and just try to quit trying to beat those deer because we're not doing it. So Chuck and I going back and forth on that, and I'm getting all this input from these third-party people. You don't have it set up right. You don't have enough charge going through there. I don't know. It's frustrating. I've been putting off this webisode because it bothers me that I really thought it would work. I read all the literature. I told you in a previous webisode, say, hey, this is gonna keep them out. Psychological. It's supposed to. And then Tad and I go up there and look, and sure enough, pew, they're jumping over it. And before we even looked to see they're jumping over it, I had a couple of buddies make fun of us, say, hey man, won't the deer just jump over there? Nah! Scientific proof that those guys that did their research papers, they said this is the best design. They're not going to jump over it. And then Tad and I sit up there a couple nights and whoof, they jump over it like it's nothing. So I gotta laugh. It's so sad. Another option would be to try to get some fast growing legume. We talked about maybe planting some Eagle soybeans. If we got enough rain, Eagle soybeans are supposed to really be browse tolerant. There's another couple brands, but any of that browse or tolerant soybeans, we could try that and see if we could get the beans up so fast that those deer won't eat it down. But I don't know. As for the fence, I don't know. I bet you guys, if you watched the last webisode, I bet y'all were sitting there going, it's not going to work. They're going to jump right in there. And sure enough, I think that's what happened. So anyway, it's Reality Hunt Club. We've had some good discussions about this fence. There's a couple fence manufacturers that swear up and down by it. I guess we could talk to them. I'd love to get them as sponsors. Maybe they could show us what we're doing wrong. Chuck and I talked about maybe doing a smaller food plot, different designs. I don't know. I almost think that 2 years we failed, the next year won't be any different because the deer are conditioned to where they were willing to take the punishment of that shot to get in there to get those goodies. And I don't know. So right now, the status of our fence is deer 2, Reality Hunt Club 0. So this was a very hard webisode for me to do. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Watching the videos, I bet y'all are laughing. But anyway, you know, that's one thing about deer management. There's, you know, unless you got money and want to become a game biologist, the average Joes like us, you don't know. You can read as much as you can. You can watch it on TV. You can read books. But hey, that only goes so far. I'm an engineer, and I read all that documentation, and I could have swore up and down it was going to work. And then you get up there, and the deer are getting shot, and they're jumping through it, or the deer are just knowing they're going to get shot, jump clearly over the fence. So anyway, you learn from your mistakes, and this is a big one that we had this year, and so I'm sharing it with you guys. So stay tuned for more of the good, the bad, the ugly, and thanks for watching Reality Hunt Club.
If you like this show, check out our other shows at hunt365.tv.